Hello and welcome back to Foos Entertainment for my final review for Horrorfest 2019. Now, I was going to do two Tim Burton movies, but we are out of time, and this will actually be uploaded and published on its own to the channel. That way it can meet the deadline of tonight. A few hours, so you'll be seeing this before I do on the channel. Nightmare for Christmas, people review that one all the time. Beetlejuice, everyone reviews that one all the time. But the one Tim Burton movie that no one really talks about, that I think is one of the greatest, if not his greatest movie, is, remember when it was made, okay, is 1999's Sleepy Hollow. I really always enjoyed this movie. This is one I've always come back to, with Sleepy Hollow. This right here is really the execution of taking an old cartoon that everybody grew up watching as a child and making a real serious movie out of it that really has shock value as well as drama value and just an outstanding cast. The thing about it is just really, really good. Top notch. It just made a lot of sense to review this one. Now, what is it about Sleepy Hollow that I like? Well, after doing with a bunch of PG-13 Tim Burton movies, you know, Batman Returns, Beetlejuice, Nightmare for Christmas, which of course I guess is G. That one might be PG. Edward Scissorhands, Ed Wood. So many, right? But we never had a real serious Tim Burton movie. And since Sleepy Hollow, we have not had a real serious Tim Burton movie. Now, I'm not saying that the guy doesn't make serious movies, we just haven't had a rated R, gore fest, you know, for adults only movie. They always been either child appropriate or they've been for a teenage audience. They've never really been for adults in terms of ratings and stuff like that. I can also say that this film's a far more serious movie, although it does have its perks of being fun and comedic and so on. At times, it's like it is traditionally with Tim Burton. We want to apply the film. Well, as a child, you probably read The Legend of Sleepy Hollow and probably seen that animated movie, but I'll just go through the branches, just kind of going through the plot very quickly. Back in 1799, during the fall season, heading into New Year's of, I guess it would be no, it's fall. It's fall season. Fall season of 1799, heading into New Year of 1800. In this remote town known as Sleepy Hollow, mysterious deaths have happened with this mythology of this headless horseman who lops off the heads of his victims and claims the heads and leaves a headless corpse at the scene. Word of this reaches New York City, to where the court system sends Constable Crane, also known as Ichabod Crane, played by Johnny Depp, to Sleepy Hollow with his bizarre science that he practices of pretty much forensic science. And so if Ichabod Crane actually was a real person in real life, he would have been the very first forensic scientist. So they send him to Sleepy Hollow to solve the mystery. In doing so, he's a very big skeptic, does not believe the Headless Horseman existed, that there's a mere mortal man or woman who was behind the murders. Very soon discovers that it's real. What's interesting about this is they actually have repressed memories because his mom was actually a witch. And he also has these very mysterious scars on his hands and stuff like that. Kind of brings back those repressed memories. So he allows him to get closure on that. And of course he falls in love with town governor's, I guess we call it town's governor's daughter. And stuff like that. Unravels the mystery. Obviously, the governor's new wife was behind it and holds the head of the Headless Horseman and commands him with it. Send them out to kill on command. And obviously, Ichabod Crane finds the head of the Headless Horseman and gives it back to him. And then, obviously, he takes the mastermind behind all this madness and goes to hell, I guess. I don't know where he goes, but that's my best guess. He goes to hell with her. That's pretty much the plot of the movie. So very quick, very easy. All right, quality of the movie. This is one of the very few Blu-rays I have to where it was made so early in the days of Blu-ray back in 07 or 08. It doesn't have DTS HD master audio. It has a DTS digital sound source and Adobe digital sound source. Now I prefer watching it with the DTS sound source, but I give you a review on both of them. The DTS sound source, although more dramatic, does not have as much directional travel, does not have as much effects on it as the Adobe digital track. Now there's a reason for that. There's actually a reason for that. Sleepy Hollow was presented in Adobe digital in select theaters only. Did not have a DTS source track in theaters. So that's why the Adobe digital track is so much more surrounding and has so much more effects on it than the DTS one. But overall, either source of the movie's audio is very, very good for what it is. And it gives you a very much good, satisfied surround movie going experience. The picture, I love Tim Burton when it comes to how he films stuff. His cinematography is always so interesting and unique, especially with this one. I would say the closest thing there actually is to kind of describing how this movie looks is if you were to take like a film filter that you use by filming a movie that makes it kind of look like almost a 1700s photograph template. We film the movie that way with a lot of whites and just the right amount of color to balance it all out, make it look very, very nostalgic to those times. That's kind of what it looks like, and it's very, very, very interesting. And of course, 185 by 1 widescreen, which is always very interesting to see on a projector screen, because contrary to belief, on a projector screen, there still is a bar on the top and bottom of the screen, either a 235 or 240 by 1 wide frame. But it is kind of interesting to watch a 185 by 1 frame on top and bottom. There actually still is a bar, so it's very, very slight, because contrary to belief, you cannot 100% fit in to the bar borders of a projector screen. It's impossible. I tried it. The only way to do it is to actually have a part of the picture covering the wall behind the screen, and you don't really want that. There's enough light reflection, and as it is you have it on the screen correctly. So it's a slight teeny weeny bar on top and bottom, but it does definitely make out for a very interesting experience to watch something that literally fills literally the whole screen versus not. But I just really like this movie. This is not the first time I watched it theatrically. I watched it quite a few times theatrically. About the past couple of months. But I turn to belief, I don't live just to review these movies. I do watch movies editor-wise too. But I do really enjoy reviewing movies for all my fans here on this channel and people who follow me on my own personal Facebook and as well as the one for this channel. I kind of do this for you guys, obviously. Well, all I can say is that this has been a very satisfying horror film festival, and I think I definitely delivered, just like I did last year. Did I top last year? Obviously not. All the good stuff was last year. This year there was good stuff, but not as good as last year, obviously. Next year will be fun, I might add. I'm going to have a lot of fun next year. Not many franchises a lot to do. We got for all the really strictly horror franchises already now. I think I only really have like one left, and that's The Omen. I didn't get to that one. In the Poltergeist films, didn't get those because I don't have all of them. You don't want to get all of them. But yeah, I had a lot of fun this time around. And well, I guess I was wrong about Stephen King's It Chapter 2. It comes out on December 10th on Blu-ray and DVD. So I will be watching it, and It Chapter 2 is a special thing for you guys to get my true movie review of It Chapter 2 in the first time for It Chapter 1 in December. Well, I guess it's time to announce the next event, right? This year around we are kind of going to be keeping it within sort of doing the spy, operative, hitman, assassin type of theme, but it's not going to be James Bond, obviously, because we did him last year. It's going to be all the other people. Even, Mission Impossible films, Bourne movies, Taken movies, probably throw the accountant in there for good measure, Jack Ryan, stuff like that. That's the next thing. Of course, obviously, Mission 47, John Wick will be part of it as well. So it's going to be a pretty good packed month. And that's the next event. Is for December. That is going to be the DC Universe event. That's every single one of them, except for Jonah X and Green Lantern and The Losers. I really don't care at all for either one of those three movies, so you will not be seeing them. But you will be seeing everything else being reviewed on this channel. So that's pretty much it, and that's a wrap on this event. I will see you guys for the next event.